Hey, and welcome back to Reel Doofs. I'm Drew, and I've seen a lot of movies.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Joe.
And we haven't seen a lot of movies.
So this is a movie podcast where we watch movies that are pop culture essentials that Brian and Joe have never seen. But before we do, they're going to try to guess what happens. This week, we're watching the 1975 Steven Spielberg classic, Jaws.
Yes.
Steven Spielberg.
Yes, Spielberg.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Little fact for you, this is actually Spielberg's second movie. He won the job because he made a movie called Duel about a truck driver that was chasing down just a guy on the highway, and it's really freaking cool.
And it was like a duel between
It is a
truck
duel
driver
between a
and
truck
the guy
driver.
running
Yes,
after
yeah.
him.
Is it like a National Lampoon type situation?
No, it's not funny. It's not. It's like they kind of like took the idea of it and made another movie called Joyride with Paul Walker.
Okay.
Like
the Fast and Furious guy?
The Fast and Furious guy.
Okay. Is it kind of like Speed?
No, it is not like Speed.
Where both trucks are just stuck going a certain speed the whole time.
No, not at all.
Haven't seen Speed. But
I think I've heard about that movie before.
Speed?
With Keanu Reeves.
Wait.
All right, so listen, guys, we're talking about Jaws today. So
Tell us about Jaws.
yeah, one thing I think I want to start off with is Jaws is not only a movie that's definitely stood the test of time, it still scares people today into not going into the water, but it also is a pop culture phenomena. To me, it's also a little bit more. This is the first movie that I saw that made me fall in love with film. My brother Randy saw it first and made me watch it. I could not have been more than 5 years old at the time.
That's terrifying.
And he and I watched the movie. I know I didn't really understand a lot of it, but I knew that it was cool, scary, frightening, but also like really struck me. And we actually would play Jaws at home. And my brother would be the shark. Always
like
wanted to be the
Jaws
shark.
game. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And I would be the director. I just wanted to like sit behind something and tell him like, all right, swim this way, do that. So it really kind of inspired me to be a huge Steven Spielberg fan, to really open my mind about film. And I was really young at that. So I always make a point of watching this movie at least one time a year. Probably once, like at the beginning of summer. It's always something that sparks intrigue to me. And it's not something to me that ever gets boring. One of those movies where you can recite certain lines and things fascinate you. You still get the chills every once in a while when a certain scene happens. So I just want to say that this is definitely one of those wild movies. So I'm really excited that I get to experience it with you guys.
Cool.
So normally I try to be funny, but this really means something to me.
It's
So
like a personal...
yeah, it's kind of personal. So what we want to do, obviously, is you guys haven't seen this movie, or at least have not seen it for years and years and years and don't recall what it's really about.
Yep. I remember seeing it when I was like 5. Like real young. I barely remember anything.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, let's do what we do, guys. What do you guys think this movie's about?
So really do feel like I know a lot about this movie, having not seen it. And I know that I came at Terminator pretty strong, my whole cold open and stuff. But I feel like, even though I haven't seen it, I have like these vivid memories of like key scenes.
Yeah.
Because they get reused so often in like other movies and TV shows. And
Yeah, you just know everything is referencing Jaws scenes, like the legs under, like the legs on the surface of the water thing.
Yeah, like I'm 90% sure that that's got to be the cold open of this movie. Is like girl on a surfboard, legs dangling, shark coming at her. We get the iconic theme music of like dun-dun, and it speeds up, and then she gets eaten by a big hungry shark. That's got to be the intro to this movie.
It has to be.
All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say like guy swimming out in open water, or not open water, just a little further.
That's
than
open water. That's a different movie.
A little further than
Than it
the
should
main
be,
beach.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like he sees or feels something, guy or girl, they see or feel something and they get eaten. Or like taken underwater where you don't really know the creature that takes it.
Okay,
They don't show the creature yet. I don't think they'll
shit.
show Jaws in the
Oh,
opening.
shit.
I actually agree with that. I don't think they'll show the shark.
Yeah, okay.
Really?
I actually think because the movie's a little older that they're going to show the shark as few times as possible to
Interesting.
save their budget. So you're going to see it like more so towards the end and maybe like a fin throughout.
Okay. Cool.
I don't think you get a good.
Okay. So, shark attack in the beginning. That's the thought that we have here on either a guy, girl, or both. Then, what's next? What happens?
So, from what I feel like happens, this is like this small fishing boat. I've seen the boat. It's like this small fishing boat. I forget what it's called. Do you know what the boat's called?
I do have a guess at the boat's name. I feel like there's a boat and its name is Sunshine or Sunset or something with a sun.
Okay.
The only boat name that I can think of is like Queen Anne's Revenge. I know that's like Pirates of the Caribbean 2 or 3.
So you're saying the Black Pearl is in the water.
Yeah. So Jack Sparrow comes and hunts down the shark.
So I think it definitely takes place in like a beach town.
Sure.
Like I was going to say maybe Cape Cod and Mass or somewhere in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's called Amity Island. Actually, that's my strong hunch.
So there's a map on the wall behind us and it's a shark.
Yeah, just to let the listeners know, I am also, like I said, a big Jaws fan. I have a very interesting limited edition print, an artistic rendering of what the island in Jaws looks like. So Brian and Joe have had their back to it until Brian just looked at it again and
this is actually like a movie reference.
Yes, it is. So if you look at it, you'll see certain things. I don't want you to look at it though.
Okay, I'm not going to look at it anymore.
It's a big shark.
Yeah, but it's the island in the shape of a shark. But anyway, so aside from that,
it also explains why your couch is a big shark shape.
Yes, it's true.
That you had a giant shark. I always was wondering, but it explains that.
Joe's actually looking around at the couch, wondering if it's shaped like a shark. Wait. No, it's just a couch, Joe.
Which couch in here is shaped like a shark?
Nope, it's just
can't see it. I could say anything about Drew, and they won't know.
Yeah, it's just a couch, Joe.
Thank God.
So. We still have to get a little further on these guesses, though. The first thing that we have for certain that you both agree on is that there is a shark attack in the beginning, and that we haven't clarified. The next thing is a boat, or there just is a boat.
Okay. In general, there's a scene. There's probably a scene where they go out on a boat, like a group. Okay. So I was going to say, I think the main plot of the movie is it's like a chase movie. They're trying to either catch or kill this thing that's terrorizing the water.
Okay.
And they know it's this massive shark, and they call it Jaws. Okay. I definitely think there's going to be they're going to introduce this shark expert. I think there's going to be a marine biologist or just like this shark expert guy. Yeah. And he's going to have this office. He's going to have like shark skeleton or like jaws or shark teeth in his office.
Do you think he goes on the boat?
I think he's like one of the main characters. So he's probably going to go on the boat.
So he's in it for the thrill of the discovery.
He's in it to also
I love me some fish and I want to see a big one.
But it's not just like seeing it. It's like this is like his white whale. This is like his I need it. I really want to capture this. I've heard stories about it.
So the marine biologist studying animals because he's like a marine biologist protecting them, but also has their skeletons all around him. So that's
like
cool.
His office. It's kind of like a museum office thing.
Okay, gotcha.
I think that's going to be one of the characters. But it's just them trying to catch or kill this shark. Okay. And they go out on a boat at one point. Yeah, that's what that boat is. Yeah.
So we're gonna recap. Now you guys aren't done. Do you have any more guesses or anything?
More guesses?
I think the shark bites it at the end.
Bites what?
Bites the guy that you were just talking about.
Okay.
He bites him.
He bites the marine biologist.
And colloquially bites it, dies. They killed the shark.
You think the shark gets killed? Okay, that's fair to assume that.
I have a very distinct and maybe this was me flipping through the channels when I was a kid, but I feel like this scene is the boat going down Titanic style.
Yep. It's half in the water and at an angle.
Stuff is falling into the shark's mouth.
Yeah, the shark is at the end.
I think your marine biologist friend gets in the mouth of the shark, loses some legs or something.
Okay.
But I think that they put a bomb in its face and blow the thing up.
So just letting you guys know, again, you can't see this, but Joe was enthralled with the description that just happened.
No, because I'm
excited about this.
I vaguely remember something like this, and
like you said, they put a bomb. You said they blow them
like
up.
a tank.
Like some kind of tank,
shoot
like this big like propane tank, or like this old like. Oh my gosh! You know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of Finding Nemo, with the torpedoes, the torpedo scene and the shark, and the sharks. There are like these torpedoes that are flying out. Oh my gosh! Yeah, at one point.
So I know we're talking about Jaws, but
Finding
Nemo, Nemo meets those sharks in an old abandoned ship or submarine, and the minefield is down there.
And the minefield is down there.
I don't remember.
And there's this tiny little.
They shoot torpedoes.
There's this tiny little torpedo, and it goes into this guy's mouth at one point, and they kind of escape this little like tight area. Anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
So. That's really good guessing at the end. Go ahead, Joe.
And then, final thing is I can't figure out how this ends, because I don't want to say they kill him, because I know there's a Jaws 2, 3, maybe
4.
Okay, 4.
Yes, and 4.
So all robots.
With the great Michael Caine.
All right, all robots, says
Can't
Brian.
wait to see Michael Caine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And or it could be the same Jaws. So I don't necessarily think they kill him, but maybe they think they kill him.
Maybe a family of Jaws come back to avenge.
Right. Maybe it's relatives of Jaws. Yeah.
Just like the fourth Jaws movie is called Jaws: The Revenge. Just putting that out there.
Yep. Okay. So you need
finally gets his revenge.
All right.
So I feel like we have the plot points, right? The shark comes, eats a person.
Well, actually, if you don't mind, let me just go through the plot points just so you guys can hear it yourselves.
Yeah.
This 2 hour and 10-minute film is about a shark attack in the beginning of the movie, and then immediately there's a boat.
No.
And a marine biologist and a shark explosion. Those are the three things that you guys have solidified and definitely come up with. So
I think that those things happen.
It doesn't happen immediately like that. Yeah. It happens in that order. The shark attack in the beginning. At one point in the movie, there's a boat, and at one point they blow the shark up at the end with some kind of.
From point A to point B, though, what else happens in this movie?
This is going to be like a Ghostbusters situation where they're getting a crew together. Right, so whoever the main, the captain of this boat is, maybe he's not the captain. I don't know who the main character is because I know nothing about this movie.
Maybe it's
but someone needs to have enough of a drive to say, I need to get a crew together to go kill this big shark.
Yeah.
So he goes and maybe gets the marine biologist, goes and gets his drunk friend at the local tavern.
Yep, and stuff like that.
And he's got enough of a drive. Cool. So whatever his motive is, has got to be really strong in order to get them on that boat to go hunt down the shark.
So this is like a guy. This is like a guy who loves this little beach town, and he maybe works with the Coast Guard or something.
Oh,
maybe
shit!
Maybe whoever dies in the beginning is like his daughter or son or something, and he's real pissed.
Oh, okay,
go shark.
Okay, yeah.
Like he lost someone.
Oh, yeah. It's not just a random person dying in the beginning, but that's how the story starts.
It's personal.
Yeah, so it means something to him. He goes and gets a marine biologist. Marine biologist is in because he's like, that's a big shark, and I ain't never seen a big shark like that in person. So let's go. And then they very endgame style offer their drunk friend a bunch of beer and get him on the boat as a boat hand or something.
All right, I think that's pretty fair. You guys,
so that's the first act. First act is getting the crew
together,
and then
kind of exploring
there's only 2 acts.
this.
The second act is going to hunt that shark down.
Okay.
They're out in the water.
I think there are 2 main boat scenes. I think there's the first boat scene where Jaws gets on the back of the boat and is eating half of it.
You think that happens
A few people
first?
die. I think that's the first boat scene. I think the second boat
they go
scene
out there and the sharks
is when
immediately fuck this boat.
I think the second boat scene is when they bomb Jaws.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Unintentionally, that wasn't the plan. It just happened to work out that the propane, flew into the mouth of the shark or whatever bomb tank. I don't know.
Love it.
I'm excited to watch this movie.
I'm excited to see you guys watch this movie.
I hope we get Jaws prequel. I want to know. We're gonna find out the motives of these people on the boat. I want the motives of the shark.
Yeah.
Why is the shark? Why does shark hunt?
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, a fact I'll tell you right now is that Steven Spielberg owns the rights to the Jaws franchise and says he will never sell it or let it be rebooted.
Cool.
And then I actually have something.
But he let like a bunch of really bad movies happen?
At the time, I don't think he owned it at the time when the sequels happened. Because he never directed the second, third, or fourth.
Okay.
So, one cool thing I'm going to share with you guys before the movie, because it's not related to the plot, but it's just a cool thing. This movie probably has the most effective dolly zoom shot. Now, that is a shot when your camera is either moving close to an object and zooming out at the exact same time, which makes the foreground and background change perspective while you're still focused on one item.
Yep. Cool. Cool.
So it's the same thing. It's either they're backing up and zooming in or they're pushing forward and zooming out. One time you'll probably remember a shot like this is in the Fellowship of the Ring when Frodo looks down the road and like the leaves are blowing and the road looks like it's coming at you. And that's
you can hear
dolly,
like the screeching of the ring wraiths. Yeah.
This movie has probably the best shot of that ever.
Oh, awesome.
And then I'm going to ask you one question before we start the movie. There's a character in this movie. Who do you think he is? Who do you think Bruce is?
Oh, it's got to be the shark, right?
Bruce is the shark from Finding Nemo. And I'm Bruce. Yeah, that's... All right, Bruce.
Ooh, I think Bruce is a dog.
Oh, shit.
I think Bruce is a dog in this movie.
That sounds right.
Okay, cool.
I don't know what brought me to that.
I'm doubling down.
Maybe my
Jonathan
5-year-old's memory of
Bruce being the dog. Love it. All right, guys.
All right.
Are you guys ready to watch Jaws?
Let's watch Jaws.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Oh, it starts underwater.
The screen is black right now.
You can hear
you can hear the whales talking.
You can hear it sounds like a submarine like radar boom, 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 like the.
Oh, we're getting the music right away.
Oh yeah.
Probably the most effective 2 to 3 notes in a musical score ever.
Yeah, really.
John Williams.
Oh shit, John Williams.
John Williams. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. He's only not collaborated with Spielberg on 2 films. When you say that, you are.
Yeah.
That's a pretty close shot of what you're describing. The underwater,
there's no surfboard.
Looking up.
No surfboard, but
swimming.
We're seeing the view from under.
Yeah. Starting to get hints at the
Chrissy is swimming. Okay.
Yeah, there it is. Music, the legs.
This is my nightmare. I did forget to mention before. This is why I don't go in bodies of water.
Same here.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of open water either.
I'm not a fan of going above my stomach in the beach. And it's due to this movie.
Police.
All right. So the main character is a police officer, maybe the
chief of police, maybe.
Yep.
Shark eats his whole family, and then he's got to go kill a shark.
When they filmed this movie, they actually used a lot of the people in Martha's Vineyard as extras.
Oh, cool.
It's like town mafia.
Interesting that you say that.
Well, the car said realty on it.
Mm-hmm.
Why was the mayor getting out of a real estate person's car?
Because
he owns every property in town.
It's like you're picking specific points of the book out. Mayor Vaughn.
This is a book?
Yes, Jaws is based after a book. Mayor Vaughn is involved with the mob in the book. And he does own Vaughn Realty. But no mob mentioned in the movie. Joe and Brian. Sure.
This kid's gonna get eaten.
Oh yeah.
Why? Oh, because he's out on the board,
Or maybe just
playing
his
with the dog.
Maybe just his
his raft is going to get eaten, and he's going to be able to like swim back.
That's possible.
Some bad hat, Harry.
Interesting fact, that line, Bad Hat Harry, that is the name of Bryan Singer's his production company, Bad Hat Harry.
Huh.
Because he loves Jaws and Spielberg.
I recognized Bad Hat Harry when he said it. I recognized it from something. Oh, shoot.
There's so much blood.
Oh, my God.
Oh, there's that zoom.
Boom!
That was a good...
I've heard that sound before, too. Like, that sound and zoom combo is used in a lot of stuff.
What do you think this movie's rated, by the way?
It's probably like... in today's standards are, but back then, probably PG-13.
So, 1975, there was no PG-13 rating. This is a PG movie. In fact, PG-13 rating did not come along till I think 1987, based on another Spielberg movie.
E.T.
Indiana Jones Temple of Doom was rated R by the MPAA, and Spielberg talked them into creating a substandard extra rating between PG and R.
Yeah, there's smoking.
Smoking.
Blood?
Yep, blood. Humans getting killed.
Slight nudity.
Slight nudity.
I mean, they never even put pants on that shark.
I can see the fins and everything.
I can see all the fins. The gills.
Showing a little gill.
24 hours is like 3 weeks.
Well, what they mean for the town, because it's a summer town.
Oh, no. Ugh. Bad. Stop.
It just keeps going.
I mean, if they live 2,000-3,000 years, they don't know.
Of course they know. You cut them open, you count the rings.
Couple of dudes just trying to catch a shark with a pot roast.
And a tire.
And a tire. Well, that's the,
That's the buoy.
yeah.
Did you see that? Did you see that? It had some kind of like
Like a bomb in
torpedo
his
bomb
mouth.
in its mouth.
The torpedo in its mouth.
They're gonna take some seafood.
Megalodon.
This guy.
Who is this guy?
This guy's the marine biologist, shark expert.
Yes! Ding, ding, ding.
I love his whole aesthetic.
Yeah.
Denim on denim.
He's got the beanie and the glasses, the long hair, beard.
That whole thing. I feel like I've seen that.
What are they all going after the shark?
Yes.
They got bow and arrow.
They're like, all right, we'll split it.
Yep.
$100 each.
Why is he speaking like he's a doctor? He's not a doctor. He's a marine biologist.
Oh, you know he tells people that he's a doctor.
Yeah, no, he knows, like, what a shark attack looks like. And they got it. The end.
Oh, this is a quick movie.
Yeah.
Good pick.
And one of the guys with the bow and arrows got it.
Oh, wow.
There is a model of that at Six Flags.
Really?
The shark hanging with that,
Is there
like
really?
in that
Yeah.
position
At Six Flags.
at Six
It's
Flags.
Six Flags.
Because they have Jaws, like, hanging at Universal.
Oh, it's definitely
but-
like not
Yeah.
really, but it
Yeah.
like close.
What kind? What kind of shark?
Tiger shark.
A what?
Oh, you bet he is.
What is this bite radius crap?
Still, my boy is dead now.
It's not his fault. It's freaking Mr.
There's
Monopoly
nothing
Mayor.
I could do about it.
Freaking money bags.
So they're not going to cut it open? I think that makes sense. Do an autopsy.
Well, Mayor McMoneybags doesn't want to know the truth.
Jawtopsy.
The original Tony Stark being rude to his child.
Yeah.
Matt Hooper.
Vote scene number 1, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, this could be... I feel like there's...
Something's gonna happen, right?
I don't think this boat is gonna...
Like, get attacked the way we're imagining with the half in the water.
It's a bad idea. Don't go in the water.
He's got his whole scuba set on. What are you thinking?
Absolutely nothing. Don't touch any of the equipment. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Or never, because
Oh
you're
my gosh,
gonna get eaten.
What
you
an
dummy.
idiot.
Well, sharks aren't like serial killers. They don't like go back to where they like had their...
The scene of the crime.
Yeah.
Sharks are lightning. Never strike the same spot twice.
Let me just investigate this
What's this?
abandoned
What's that?
boat.
Yeah.
What's
that
that?
looks like it's been attacked
Yeah,
by...
but what is that?
Oh, there's a tooth.
The shark took out his tooth and carved his name in the side of the boat. Bruce was...
Like, couldn't he just be happy enough that he's got a full beach?
Yeah,
and, like,
seriously,
business is
like,
booming?
you don't make money from people being in the water.
You know
Exactly.
what? You know what? That's him. That's us finding out he's not actually greedy. He just loves watching people enjoy the water.
That's a
His
good
thing.
point.
That's
that
what
could
it
be
is.
The mayor is really... It's not about the summer dollars for him. It's about people's enjoyment of things and being in the water.
Oh, I went a different direction. I feel like he's like, oh yeah, blood everywhere.
This is his greed. Like his
he's-
greed is the murder.
Yeah, he wants to see the blood.
Yeah, look, he's
see the
smiling. He's
murder.
like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch you get eaten very slowly.
It's also like a school dance right now. Like the first people went in. Now everyone's just kind of slowly meandering.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's a leg.
Finally got a good look of it. Little look at
That's
it. Yeah.
It's a big old shark. Oh, he's still hungry. Doesn't anybody have a gun?
America! America!
You'd think they'd learn by now that the only way to stop bad sharks is good sharks with guns.
Well, that's the plot of Jaws 2.
Get a bigger shark.
What if we just give all the sharks guns?
That's the problem. It's too hard for sharks to get guns these days.
Mainly, I think what they end up wanting to do is building a wall.
Okay, yeah, to keep the sharks out?
Yes, to keep the bad hombre sharks out.
All the bones you were talking about.
That is
Ding,
an
ding, ding, ding.
office with a bunch of shark skeletons, bones, jaws, teeth.
Pretty good stuff.
It's not the marine biologists.
It's the crazy captain.
It's the crazy fisherman guy.
I made it myself.
It's shark flavored.
Excuse me, Chief.
Is it shark flavored?
Yes.
It's boiling.
Hot shark water.
Just needs a little bit of Morton salt.
Don't drink that.
Orca. Is that the name of the boat?
Yes.
Ah.
The orca.
That was a cool shot. Like through the jaw.
Through the jaws.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what that bastard shark's gonna do.
They're gonna blow up a shark.
They're going to blow up a shark with one of those tanks. Intentionally or accidentally.
Hey, Chiefy. Next time you just ask me to
Robert Shaw, the guy who played Quint, was actually a Shakespearean actor, and he helped write a little bit of this scene here. This is one of the more important scenes in the movie, giving Quint a little background on Quint. The writer of the screenplay wrote this scene, but Quint actually took a little bit of it and it was allowed to morph it himself.
Oh, cool.
So, and it's one of the big scenes in the movie that doesn't have the shark in it.
So 1,100 men went in the war. 316 men come out. The Sharks took the rest June the 29th, 1945. Anyway, we delivered the bomb.
Gives me the chills every time because it's a real story.
Yeah, shit, no jokes here.
1,100 men go in the water. 300 came out 5 days later. Richard Dreyfuss reprises this role sort of in the remake of Piranha that came out like 6-7 years ago. Movie starts with a guy fishing, Richard Dreyfuss, old man, listening to this song on the radio.
Does he really need to go down far to breathe?
Has to just keep moving. So if the barrels are pulling you up, then the theory is that it'll get tired out from trying to go under because the air is pushing it up, and then it'll stop, and then it'll die or drown itself.
Okay. Alright, it's gonna pull half the boat under, like at an angle, and that's where he's gonna jump on and...
Oh no!
Yep. Oh, tank. Sliding. Poison.
When it all goes down, goes to shit, use the poison.
Use the bottle labeled poison.
I think it was Mr. Hooper with the poison in the shark cage.
It's a pretty good shot of the tanks.
Yeah, like they're foreshadowing something. There's a second tank.
They just really want us to know that it's dangerous and could explode.
Yeah.
If you're not careful. And there's an extra one.
Yeah, tanks. Any guesses what's gonna happen to Hooper and the cage?
He's done.
I
He's
think
dead
they're
now.
gonna pull the cage up and he's not gonna be in it.
Okay.
But, I mean, that means Jaws would have had to somehow
Get in the cage.
eaten him.
Carefully extract him from the cage.
Yeah, you know, it's like picking like chicken out of like two chicken bones, like between
Yeah.
chicken bones, you know.
So have we been introduced to Bruce yet? Did I totally miss Bruce?
Yeah, who's Bruce?
We'll talk about it at the end.
All right.
Okay.
If you haven't seen him yet,
Don't put your hands out there.
He's gonna drop it. Oh,
Oh, you dummy.
did he drop it?
course he
Oh
did.
my god.
He's terrible at holding on to things. We've seen
Yeah, he's
this.
dropped everything.
Yes.
He's not that deep though. It's
Right.
He could get that.
Yeah, he could just get out and get it.
Oh, so it bent the. Oh, he's gonna try and get it.
And he went
Oh,
out
he
from,
got out.
He went out from the top,
And somehow it was at the bottom.
and now he's going to the bottom.
Oh man. Oh, they're gonna pull up the cage and he's not
And
gonna
it's
be in
gonna
it.
be empty.
Called it. I never said he would be dead.
Oh! Ding, 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 ding! Shark has jumped on the boat.
shit.
Onto the back of the boat.
Yep.
Oh, he's got the machete.
Yeah. He's got it stabbed in one of its jowls.
Oh, half of his body
Oh,
is in
no.
the shark's mouth, and he was just taken into the water.
Oh, that's bad.
R.I.P. Quint. R.I.P.
man.
Oh, he's got some quint left. You got a little quint in your teeth.
Oh, he's grabbing the tank.
Yep.
He's putting the tank in the shark's mouth.
He's just punching it with it.
Oh, he's just. He put it in the mouth.
You're wasting time with your pointy stick.
That's like exactly what I would be doing. Like that's the only thing you can be doing in this scenario. Like,
damn it! This thing is just eating everything. Sticks.
Okay, so it just ate his pointy stick.
Wait till he starts trying to stab it with the gun, and it eats the gun.
Oh, he blew him up a shark. Also, I've heard that line too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All right, the shark's head was just blown off.
So is Jaws 2 like a zombie movie?
No. It's like the Fast and the Furious. Family means everything.
It's gonna be a bigger shark, isn't it? It's gonna be like the mom.
We're gonna need an even bigger boat than we thought we needed last time, but still didn't have.
Right? Funny you say that, Joe. Every Jaws movie, the shark grows 5 inches. Or 5 feet, excuse me. So the shark is 30 feet in Jaws 2, 35 in Jaws 3. It's a megalodon by Jaws 4. It's 40 feet long.
Okay. Hey, and the marine biologist surfaces, and he's alive.
It's the circle. Seagulls come in, they eat the shark.
Yep.
They poop, it feeds the fishes.
Circle of life.
Fish feed the shark.
Yeah.
Shark feed the seagull.
That was Jaws, guys. What did you think?
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I loved it. Honestly, I was really impressed with the Jaws, like, prop.
Like Jaws himself.
Like the actual
so with Bruce.
Wait, was it Bruce?
Was Bruce the prop?
Who's Bruce? We gotta know who Seagull
Bruce is the prop.
Bruce is the shark.
Oh.
The shark is not named Jaws. The shark is named Bruce, and Pixar gave a nod to that by naming their great white shark Bruce. But yes, the prop or the shark itself, which also we should give a ding specifically to Brian, ding ding ding, because he said he didn't think you would see the shark till later, right? Because why? Old movie, and they wanted to save on the budget. So here's where you're right. You didn't see it for a long time.
Yeah.
Here's where you're wrong.
Okay.
The shark was supposed to be seen throughout the entire movie. It was consistently broken the entire film. That it like wouldn't work. It didn't do what it was supposed to do. That they decided not to show it until the end, which made the suspense build so much.
Right.
It was so over budget that this movie, Spielberg thought he was going to get fired consistently because it was supposed to shoot in 59 days and shot like 160 something days.
Oh, wow.
Unheard of how high over the budget this movie ended up being.
Oh, okay.
But yes and no, I'll give you the dings for that though, because you did not see the shark. But seriously, I cut you off. I actually do want to hear what you thought of it. Like immediate reaction.
Yeah, you know, I was expecting a little bit more story-wise. I didn't really predict much, but it really was just like a let's find and kill this shark. There wasn't any connection between like, oh, my daughter died out there.
Yeah,
Right.
I definitely
like,
thought something there was gonna happen.
or
But
like,
did you
let's
need
get a
that?
team together. There is, I mean,
It moves and
really
flows so well.
That is true.
Yeah, it
You did
does.
think that we were like closer to the middle of the movie when we were like, oh no, this is the end. This is the end.
Yeah, that's true. It
And
does flow well. It's very like a natural progression of events.
It's
Nothing
over
is
2
forced.
hours and it just goes.
Yeah.
So some plot points that were taken out of the book that were cut because of it being over bloated. In the book, Hooper actually knows Brody's wife and they have an affair.
oh, okay.
Hooper then gets killed in the cage. Also, the mayor in the book is connected to the mob, and he's not getting like it's, of course, Amity is a summer town and they need summer dollars. He's not getting
winter
pressure.
dollars just won't do.
No, he's not getting pressure from the townspeople as much as he is from the mob to keep the beaches open.
Okay. Makes sense.
It's pretty nutty.
Yep, I can see that.
So
he really wanted those beaches open.
He really wants the
wanted
beaches
the
open.
people in the water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In the book, the shark kills a few more people than they do in the movie, and it is gruesome how the shark kills people in the book. Like, the description of it was pretty wild.
It was pretty gruesome here too. Yeah.
Some of the scenes.
Scene,
Alex Kittner in when he gets it, and it looks like the shark's literally. What it reminded me of when you first see it is how an alligator rolls when it grabs something, because you see like the fins like roll over, and it's just boom, boom, like it's pretty nutty. What was your favorite scene in the movie?
Oh man.
I think the comparing scars scene.
Yes, yeah.
I thought that was like, even before you said that actor was like a Shakespearean actor, it felt very like Shakespearean, especially like towards the end too, because you have this whole like lead in with they're all having a good time, and then you get like the interesting play on words where he's like, "You broke my heart."
Yeah.
Where'd you get that scar? And then it dives into this really, really serious thing that sets like a very somber mood and scares you.
Yeah.
And then the boat gets hit with the shark and starts attacking. And that whole thing is like very thespian.
It really also opens up. I know there's a lot of like kind of talk when you guys thought about like there's not a lot to the movie itself. It's like here to here to here. This is the whole point. But I mean, that is extreme character development on Quint, why he's the way he is. I mean, natural hatred of sharks is because he, for 5 days straight, pretty much thought he was going to get eaten alive by a shark.
I do think that helped the plot a little bit, where I was like, oh, there's not enough reason why they're out here hunting these sharks. The other two were perfectly fine with like going back.
Oh yeah.
And it was Quint's fault that they were out and stuck out there, because I think now that we know a little bit more about his past, we realize that like he just needs to kill the shark.
Yeah,
like,
that's all he really cares
vendetta.
about.
Yes,
he's this is like fuck. I wish I could pull this reference faster.
It's his Moby Dick.
Moby Dick.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
it's his white whale. I mean, they literally call it that in the movie.
Yeah, and in the book, it actually ends with more of a Moby Dick kind of actually thing where he's like harpooning it.
Yep.
And he gets like tied to it. Basically, he's floating behind it, and it just dies from its injuries. It literally dies about to attack Brody. It's like floating towards him and just stops and like sinks. So lame comparative on screen. It would have been like, you would have been like, wait, what just happened?
He's not dead.
Yeah,
the one special effect that's not super great is like the speed of the shark.
Yes.
Sharks are like really fast.
They can be, yeah.
And this thing is like taking a half an hour to get to the...
And they're like, all right, here it comes. Go tie a new harpoon to a new barrel.
Yeah.
I think they play with that being like it's a smart shark. It's toying with him. I mean, even at times in the movie, and it's probably just the effect of the shark in general, but like Quint doesn't have his gun ready, and it literally pops out of the shark, like sneers at him and goes by, like here's your shot.
Yeah,
and
like
goes.
If it had hands, it'd be flipping him off.
Yes, and in the book, it doesn't flip him off, but it actually does. But it actually like pops out and is just kind of like toying with them in the book, like several times. It's pretty.
I think that shark just flashed.
Yeah, it's definitely something else. So let's talk about the doof meter.
Yeah, officially branded doof meter.
The official branded doof meter, our 1 through 5 doof meter. How do you guys feel? What's your rating on this in the doof meter? 1 being it was not very important to have seen this. You could have skipped it. Or a 5. You're a doof for not seeing this earlier.
Yep.
Right,
okay.
I'm gonna spin Joe's doof meter.
3.
3.
Yeah.
3 on the doof meter.
I think it's not. I don't think it's like essential viewing. I don't know. I definitely loved the. I don't know. The flow of it all.
Okay.
I was, when I was watching this, I realized like I've never been in a world where Jaws wasn't a thing, and I was trying to put myself in this place of 1975 where Jaws wasn't a thing yet, and it was coming out, and it was in theaters, and people were seeing this shark movie.
Yeah,
and it must have felt like almost like. Not like a big blockbuster Hollywood movie. It must have felt more like a more independent, like smaller film time movie. I'm not sure what the feel was when it was released, but
I've got facts.
I feel like people weren't like, oh man, yeah, a shark movie. I feel like people were like, oh, it's like a fishing, it's fishing this dangerous thing movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then people probably started seeing it and they were like, wow, this is really good. This is really cool.
Yeah.
And then the hype kind of built up. But I mean, maybe there are so many movies that have referenced it. The whole like the theme music is iconic itself, but I don't know. I guess maybe a 3.5, 3.8.
3.8.
I don't know. I'm starting to talk myself more into a 4.
I think, honestly, I think you could also think that when you watched it today, how did you feel watching it today? Did you like what was it? Was it exciting? Did it work? Because I mean, for me, if I watch it, I would probably think about the pop culture influence that it had on it.
Yep, yeah.
But also, I'd be like, that was a damn fine movie. I wish I'd seen that earlier. I'm trying to obviously influence this up.
You're
but you
Russia
wanna,
right now in the election of,
yes,
of Joe's score.
Yes.
You're creating a bunch of Facebook bots to influence.
You like this film. So 3.5?
Pretty, definitely at least a 3.5.
Okay.
I'm almost leaning towards that 4 now.
Okay.
And that's still
listen. I'm gonna put you at a 3.5, and if you want to come back to it and make it a 4, but we don't go.
You have like 5 minutes.
We only go up
to decide
0.5s here. Okay.
All right.
Doof meters are not strong enough to go point and 1 points, like 0.1s.
Let's look at that firmware update.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There. All right, Bri. What do you think?
I think that I'm gonna jump up to the 4. I'm actually like 4 or 5 is sort of my like range.
Like
I think I'm sticking with a 4.
Like a 4.5, like an in between a 4 and a 5.
Switching places for last time.
Why?
It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Sweet.
I was definitely thinking like, 1975, like the special effects are going to be bad. They're actually really good.
Yeah.
Not that like everything needs to be perfect. I mean, I love Star Wars, and the effects and like the original Star Wars like aren't super great, but they did a good job with what they had for practical
but they
effects.
made everyone shit their pants in 1977 when it came out. You know what I mean?
2 years later. So,
Yeah. That's 2 years later, by the way.
Sorry, thank you. I'm going to edit that out, so you're just going to sound like a dick. I said 2 years, Drew. It's the benefits of being the editor.
Yeah, I know, right? Damn it.
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine watching this in 75.
And I think
then 2 years later, 2 years later watching Star Wars and being blown away.
Okay. I'm going to tell you a little story about that when Brian's done with his rating.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think that what makes me rate it a little bit higher is because I asked myself a dumb question while I was like, while I was watching it, and that dumb question was, is like this where we get our fear of sharks from? Because I'm terrified of water. Like I don't. If I can't see the bottom, I don't go in it. I don't go very deep in the ocean. I don't do lakes. I do rivers. Okay, but I was like, obviously, this is no question. This movie wouldn't be being made if people didn't have like an innate natural fear of sharks. But like the terror that I felt from like the beginning scene, like I was actually like, "Ooh, this is
I don't like
terrifying."
this.
Anytime that they were in the water without some sort of protection, there was terror. And it drew on my like innate human like terror, and there are obvious things that this movie has like pushed into pop culture, so many phrases that I've heard before. I was trying to think of the Star Wars reference, and I make way too many Star Wars references, but there are moments in there that I could see that George Lucas took from of the like, we're gonna need a bigger boat. I feel like he's used that with a ship at one point, or something like it, or the moment where they're below deck grabbing tools is a very like Han Solo thing to do.
Spielberg and Lucas are very, very close.
So Jaws was the first. It's probably stealing your fun facts, but I think I saw something where Jaws was the first movie to break the box office record, right? Or
Jaws is the first summer blockbuster. It is the first movie to ever make $100 million at the box office in 1975.
Wow.
It held that record for 2 years until a little independent movie called Star Wars came along.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But
so I'm like backwards there.
you're a little backwards because Jaws actually caused such a stir. It had back then. Right now, we talk about a huge release for a movie like the Avengers.
Yeah.
That came out on 4,600 plus screens across the United States and Canada. Okay. 4,000 screens, not movie theaters, but like I'm one theater and I have it on 18 screens or I have it on this many screens, right? Jaws was only on 400 plus screens on its first few weekends. And it made on its first weekend, it made its budget back.
On 400 screens.
Yes.
Wow.
And a ticket cost like $1. Huge. In fact, so huge that if you adjusted Jaws to the current ticket prices of inflation,
Yep.
Jaws would be the number 7 highest grossing film of all time at $1.15 billion.
wow.
If you adjusted what it made in 75 to what a ticket costs today for how many people physically saw the movie, $1.15 billion. Number 7 of all time.
That's pretty amazing.
It's pretty out there. Its actual gross is at $260 plus million dollars. Yeah. But that was from like 75. It only played for like 12 weeks.
Right.
And then it's been, pre-released, I think, here and there, but not like long, big releases. So huge impact though. And I think like I know people who saw Jaws when it came out. My mother-in-law, she's going to love that I'm mentioning her in this. My mother-in-law watched Jaws, not knowing much about it, at a drive-in that played movies in water. She was on a lake in a floaty.
Oh no.
It did that. Do you know what I mean? It had an effect.
That's the first D-box.
Yeah, right? Which ironically probably can be cut out of this, but this DVD, this Blu-ray has a D-box code. If you personally have a D-box seat, you can actually play D-box from this player.
That's so funny.
I didn't know it was either. I was just going through special features, guys.
Personal D-box.
Yeah, personal
so when are you
D-box.
buying a D-box?
I don't know, man. All of our seats in the basement when the movie theater's done. D-box. But yeah, no, this movie still has an effect on people, and it's true. I do think, Brian, that this movie has an effect on why people don't like to go in the water. I think it has a unpositive effect, a not positive effect on people's opinions of sharks in general. I mean, people think that great white sharks are man-eaters when they're actually a shark that when they tend to bite people, it's by accident. They don't think a person is actually a person. And when they bite people, they tend to be like, oh shit, this isn't what I eat. And they let it go. Just that bite might be your only bite that you ever get. You know, they don't tend to chronically keep attacking. Younger ones sometimes do, but like most times they hit and run. Where things like tiger sharks, bull sharks, just eat. They just go until you're gone.
Okay.
Another fact is that this movie, they mentioned in the movie, but the movie is actually inspired by the first real recorded shark attack that happened in Jersey in like 1916, 1919, I think, where a couple of people were killed up the shoreline of Jersey, and then a couple of people in a river, and that's where they killed the shark. But it was always thought it was a great white shark too. But now with the more we know about sharks, we actually think it was a bull shark because bull sharks are one of the only sharks that can go from ocean water to fresh water.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. Interesting factoid, guys.
Yeah.
And let me see if I've got anything else out here for you. We already talked about the book and a little bit of the differences there. So yeah, those are really the big things to mention. So
like off the top of your head, do you know of any like what were some of the other big movies coming out around like early 70s? Because I'm trying to think like what really set Jaws apart in like I guess the marketing world. Like why were people like, oh my gosh, I have to go see this movie about a big shark? Because like honestly, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's just so overused nowadays. But
the book had come out and it was a popular book.
Okay, it was okay. Right, the book. That's
so
true.
the book came out. It was pretty popular a couple years earlier. I mean, we're talking the 70s is when we actually saw a really big spike also in attendance and people going to the movies.
Okay, yeah. But like early 70s, mid 70s, what were some of the big movies around then? Do you happen to know? I'm trying to think like
you got like, well, you're talking mid to late 70s where we also had things like freaking Rocky, Star Wars, Chinatown, Godfather.
All movies on our future list.
A lot of movies on our list are in there because they did have a cultural impact on people. Shining. Shining's early 80s. Excuse me. Jeez, God, Drew, what's wrong with you?
I wonder how this movie was like marketed to make it so hyped. I don't know. Was there a hype or was it just
I don't know.
We saw this movie, go see it? Like was it word of mouth kind of thing? Or
they actually took a bunch of captured sharks and they didn't feed them for a long time and just started releasing them at beaches.
Right? It was actually only George Lucas is the one who convinced Spielberg to hire Richard Dreyfuss or have Richard Dreyfuss try out for the role of Hooper because he'd worked with him in American Graffiti, which is another classic movie. I don't know if I'd consider it pop culturally classic, but it was George Lucas's movie that he did before Star Wars that he discovered, like he brought in Harrison Ford in his first role ever. And it's like about a group of kids in the 50s. Like Richard Dreyfuss, Ron Howard, a bunch of these like people like that. But anyway, but Dreyfuss took the role. He wasn't sure if he wanted to take it. He took the role because his movie he made that hadn't been released yet. He thought he was shit in, and he was like, "I'm never going to be able to act again. If I have a job, I better take it. Like I'm just going to take it right now. I'm going to be like, yeah, I want in." And then he did this, and this is probably his most famous role.
Yeah.
One other thing. Oh, the mayor. Mayor Vaughn.
What a jerk.
Yeah, so I just bought a shirt recently that I wear occasionally that says, and this is just we're not gonna watch Jaws 2, just letting you guys know, but it says, the mayor from Jaws is still the mayor in Jaws 2. It is so important for you to vote in your local elections.
Oh, yeah. Just sleazebag. Need those summer dollars.
Yeah, you yell shark, man. All right, guys. I'm so glad you actually really like this one.
It was really good.
Yeah, super awesome. So that's it, guys. It's time to get out of the studio.
Cool. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. This has been Reel Doofs. Joe, I think we're gonna need a bigger boat.
God damn it.
I did not have chicken wings.
Yes! Ding, ding, ding!